scale. That's the EF scale. And just to give you a little bit of background, when the Weather Service receives reports of damage, we assess the damage. In fact, every report of damage we get, it goes out as a local storm report or LSR product. And we assess those damage reports. And assessing those damage reports is sometimes working with our emergency managers and the media. We determine if any of those damage instances need surveyed, okay? In case there is speculation that a tornado was the result of the damage. Obviously, a lot of the damage that we get is straight line wind damage, and it doesn't need to be surveyed. But if there's any question, or if we've got evidence that the damage might have been produced by a tornado, whether maybe someone saw it, or maybe on our radar we saw some really tight rotation there, we'll go out and we'll survey the damage. And when we're doing a damage survey, we need to determine, one, is the damage that we see caused by straight line winds, or was it caused by a tornado? And if the damage we see was caused by a tornado, then what's the rating we need to give that tornado? And obviously, if we see the path of a tornado or the track of a tornado with its damage, the damage might run several different ratings, run the gamut across several different ratings. You might have some EF0 damage, a little bit of EF1, and maybe you've got an area of EF2 damage. Within that path, the tornado receives the highest rating. So if we rate a tornado EF2, yeah, maybe there's some EF1 or EF0 damage surrounding it, but that tornado would receive that EF2 rating, focusing in on that most significant damage. So, start on the low end of the scale, EF0, winds up to 85 miles an hour, relatively minor damage typically, might have some trees being snapped, maybe parts of roofs being peeled off. Once you get to EF1, and especially EF2, you're getting more significant damage, not just trees being uprooted or blown over, but structural damage too, damage to homes. Not only are roofs being peeled off, but maybe the roofs are actually being uplifted with an EF1. Or maybe even second floors, parts of second floors being taken off there because you're getting walls to fall down as well when you get with EF2 tornadoes. Which makes sense because look at the winds, 111 to 135 miles an hour. That's much more considerable damage. Most of the tornadoes that we get here fall in this range. But certainly, we're capable of seeing tornadoes that can produce the higher end of the spectrum of damage. More rare, but certainly possible, especially if we were to get a big, strong supercell outbreak of tornadoes. And the winds are a lot higher, and in conjunction, the damage is much, much more significant, especially once you get up here, EF4 and above. We're talking about significant destruction of homes. Multiple homes in communities get wiped off those foundations there. So more often than not, the tornadoes that we get are not at this end of the spectrum, but certainly look back at the past, okay? Tornadoes over the last 20, 30 years, these can happen, and we all need to be prepared in case we do get a tornado at that end of the spectrum.
The Xenia tornado, which EF, is that a 5?
Well, Xenia 2000 was a 4. 74 would have been more of the 5 spectrum. I mean, there was 4 and 5 damage for that big outbreak in 1974. And I guess around here, that would be the most significant going back. But 2000 was a significant one as well. And we'll talk about this a little bit later. It wasn't up here, but further south, southern Ohio, northern Kentucky, there were 2 EF3s and an EF4 from 2012 as well. So that kind of gives perspective. Those 4s and 5s are rare, but they can happen and they have happened